Elon Musk, man, we got to pray for Elon Musk. This guy is doing everything for this country, and people are treating him and his companies like crap. This dude just rescued astronauts in space, and they're still wiping feces on Teslas. Come on, man. Trump ally, Department of Government Efficiency leader Elon Musk recently stated that my life may be in danger due to exposing mass amounts of waste, fraud, and abuse. This is what he said on Hannity.
Countries. You're working on helping the blind see and all of these other things. Is it really come down to the basic, you're aligned with President Donald Trump, who also is a friend of mine, and that you have identified well over $100 billion in waste, fraud, abuse that our federal government never should have been spending? Is that what it comes down to?
Yeah, it turns out when you take away people's, what the money they're receiving fraudulently, they get very upset, and they basically want to kill me because I'm stopping their fraud, and they want to hurt Tesla because we're stopping this terrible waste and corruption in the government. And well, I guess they're bad people. Bad people will do bad things.
Crazy people do bad things too.
Overall, financially, in the end, yes, they can hurt you, but the people that they'll end up hurting are the people that work in your dealerships that may risk losing their job. The people that they may end up hurting are the people that work on the line and build the Teslas. They're going to be the ones hurt. And that to me is despicable on their part, just because they might have a political difference or perceived political difference.
I wonder if Donald Trump was like, listen, man, if you're going to do this with me, you're going to receive a lot of prosecution from the media, from people. They're going to get you. They're going to come after you. I'm sure that they had that conversation because Donald Trump and his team they're very intelligent. And I'm sure Elon knew what he was getting into, but I don't think that he would have thought that they would be vandalizing these Tesla dealerships. And that incident yesterday in Las Vegas, I found out that wasn't that was the dealership, but also they set fire on personal property, people's personal property, because that was like their repair center that they set fire to. Hustler Forever says, I was thinking about downloading all the JFK documents and uploading to AI and find the shooter. That's a lot of pages, man. Let me know. Maybe we can tackle it together because it's a lot of pages. I was thinking the same thing. But it's a lot of documents, and they're individually bunched up. How can you hate this guy? This guy's getting people from space. He's doing a lot. All right. So Elon, I don't know if this is gonna get censored or whatever, but he jumped on with Ted Cruz. I'm gonna jump around on this.
For improvement in federal government expenditures because it's so bad. If it was a well-run ship, it would be very difficult to improve.
So,
so now it's like people say, well, how will you figure out how to save money in the federal government? Well, it's like being in a room where the walls, the roof, and the floor are all targets. So you shoot in any direction.
Yeah, and
you can't miss.
Wow.
I'm sure you would agree.
So a lot of folks have talked about like
you can't miss.
You can't
miss. Yeah, just go any direction.
A lot of the crazy expenditures thing
is 20% fraud, but you do have these sort of gray areas.
Yep.
So, Example would be, so we saw a lot of payments going out of Treasury that had no payment code and no explanation for the payment, and then we'd try to figure out what that payment is, and we'd see that, okay, that contract was supposed to be shut off, but someone forgot to shut off that contract, and so the company kept getting money.
Wow.
Now, is that waste or fraud?
Yeah, both.
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean,
But
both.
it's sort of a
You
gray
know you're
area
getting something
because
you're not supposed to get.
You're not supposed to get it, but the government sent it to you, and nobody from the government asked for it back. Or take, for example, the $1.9 billion given to Stacey Abrams, a fake NGO.
Utter insanity.
Explain that. Forget the end of the story.
That's corrupt. That's just corrupt, I think. That's paying off cronies at that point.
1,000%.
Yeah. And by the way, she knew. Like when you get $2 billion, you don't miss that.
I did.
That's
It's
not,
not an accident.
that's not,
Allegedly, it was for like, environmentally friendly appliances
Yeah.
or something, and like, they've given like
Oh, this
like
is it
100
right here.
appliances. So.
so you brought that up.
Okay, so you may think that that the government computers like all talk to each other, they synchronize, they add up what funds are going somewhere, and it's it's coherent. That there's and that the numbers, for example, that you're presented as a senator,
Yeah.
are actually the real numbers.
One would think.
One would think they're not.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's crazy to me. The
that's-
same thing happens with the medical system. The medical systems aren't coincided and linked together. That's why they had that huge prescription situation when the opioids were going on. People, some doctors got caught writing, giving prescription pads to people, and then they would go from pharmacy to pharmacy to pharmacy to pharmacy. Each pharmacy has their individual used to have their individual systems, and people could get these scripts, the opioid scripts and things like that. And same thing with the airlines. If you notice, when you miss a flight, you got to go back to the front, and then they access they just access all the different airlines. And a lot of times you got to rebook on the particular airline if you don't have an app like Expedia or something like that. So it's nuts to me that none of these computers work coherently together.
Not totally wrong, but they're probably off by 5% or 10% in some cases. So I call a magic money computer any computer which can just make money out of thin air. That's magic money.
So how does that work?
And that's
It's
what
just-
we've been doing. We've been making magic money. So apparently a website called DogeQuest posted a searchable map, what it claims to be names, addresses, phone numbers, and email addresses of Tesla owners across the United States. This is an act. I think this is an act of terrorism. I think it's an act. It's definitely disrupting our general peace for the public, for sure. But to have an interactive map of users that to show where people live, it's very similar to this whole situation with the swatting. People are calling influencers and newscasters and saying that they're calling the police and saying that somebody they heard gunshots, and then the police are arriving at their house, and it's crazy. Or people are ordering 20, 30 pizzas and delivering it to people's houses. The left is going insane. This is where I was going with it. It came back to me. Come on, man. The hatred for Trump, the hatred for Donald Trump is so high that they cannot see the forest for the trees. Elon is potentially reducing our personal tax bills. He's saying that if you make under 150K a year, you don't have to pay taxes. He's looking to distribute $5,000 from the cost savings to individuals. But people don't see that. This dude's saving people from space that Biden left up there for 9 months, 10 months, whatever the scenario is. And they're not thinking right. They're crazy to me. These people are crazy.
Look, I will be consistent on this. I don't think vandalism, I don't think violence is what you do to make your point. I've said that around January 6th. I've said it around protests, and I'll say it here. Do I agree what Elon Musk is doing with Doge? No. But what I would encourage people, and I don't even know if the folks who are doing the vandalism are actual Democrats or Republicans, but they're people who want to destroy our democracy as well. This is what I will tell folks. In moments like this, if you are so enraged that you want to act on something, you have a representative, you have a senator in Congress that doesn't have to be there any longer. You should go tell them that you are disgusted, to Shermichael's point, that you don't like that they are not taking their congressional responsibility to heart and challenging the president and say, let us pass this law, let us repeal back this funding. But taking it with vandalism, don't agree with it, don't associate it with it. It shouldn't be a part of the Democratic brand. It shouldn't be part of the Republican brand. It's not an American brand.
That's the first intelligent thing aside from Scott Jennings that I have heard from CNN. Homegirl, you got it right.
So doubtful it's Republicans attacking Tesla dealerships around the country. It's pretty wild, actually. The other night, Donald Trump said these are domestic terrorists. Everybody laughed about it and scoffed at it. That video looks like terrorism to me. I mean, it's obviously an organized, coordinated effort, however people are communicating with each other, to do this to people around the country who chose to buy a Tesla at some point in the past, many of whom I'm sure are Democrats who bought them in the first place, all because their entire political worldview is ruled by their emotions. And that's the American left right now. It is one angry mob after another willing to take things into their own hands, up to and including keying, firebombing, and otherwise vandalizing cars and car dealerships and charging stations. It's outrageous. It is terrorism. People ought to be put in jail and left there for a very long time and be taught a lesson.
So when they
Why'd she make that sour face?
do it to a Tesla dealership, it's really bad. But when they do it to the halls of Congress, we should pardon them.
Listen, lady, we already know that FBI agents were colluding in that situation, okay? It's not the same thing. And listen, after thinking about this just a little bit, if it is, which presumably Elon said that it is, and I'm just taking it for face value based on what everybody is saying. If these are Soros-backed, organized protesting groups just like BLM, they push this narrative out. They know that the stock is going to dip. Catherine says people must have bought at the dip because the stock went up 5%. Think about this. They're pushing this narrative. The stock dips. Who do you think benefits both ways? A person like Nancy Pelosi pushing this type of narrative. The Soroses of the world pushing this type of narrative. The stock goes down, they buy the stock. They know that the stock is going to go up eventually. They know Elon's stock. They know Tesla stock. So they're winning both ways. This is what came to mind when I was watching this.
Let me
I'm so
educate.
sorry.
Let me
You don't
educate
need
you.
to-
No,
you
no,
don't
no.
need to
No, you don't need to.
patronize
You don't. You don't.
I'm
And
just
you don't need to be
saying-
condescending to
I'm
me.
not
So let me
condescending.
educate you about my position. You want to attack me? Let me
I'm
finish
just
it. Let me
asking you-
finish
I'm
it.
just asking you
Let
a
me finish
question.
it.
Let's do this January
I'm just
6th
asking
and
you
then
a
near
question.
it.
I'm sorry you're getting emotional.
Yeah, I'm sorry you're a condescending person who hasn't been paying attention to what I do.
He wanted to say another word there.
Stop, guys.
So here's the issue. I didn't support what happened on January the 6th and was one of the first Republicans to call it out. I don't support the pardons. I have repeatedly, just like my friend Ashley here, said that no violence in our political system is acceptable. But this right here, what's going on with a guy who helps our country, who runs successful companies, who doesn't have to be doing this, and now one of his companies is under systematic terroristic threat and violence all over the country, and people seem to be laughing about it or fine with it. It's outrageous. I've sat at this table and had people say, we should cut Elon Musk from the government totally. He rescued our astronauts today. Is that what we want? The treatment of this guy is outrageous. These people who are doing this need to be found, put in jail, and made an example of. That's my point.
Anyone who commits violence against Tesla or Congress or anyone else should be put in jail, 1,000%. But that should not stifle dissent or opposition from Elon Musk.
Give it a little lip service. Give it a little both sides. Go ahead.
Both sides here. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to say that people are legitimately upset. They're legitimately upset at Elon Musk, and they're doing it on their own, but there is no reason to have violence in the country. But I just wish all of us would support criticism of, or would support punishing people who are violent wherever they are.
These people are getting prosecuted. They're honestly, they're pretty dumb to vandalize Tesla and vehicles. Don't they know that a lot of these vehicles have a crap ton of cameras around them? People have already, if you go on X, you can clearly see their faces wiping feces on cars, scratching cars, and doing all this other stuff. The one guy got arrested today, and he was like an investment banker going to the gym, and he keyed a Cybertruck. Bro,